Happy Wednesday, boys and girls, third grade Mustangs. I hope that you're having a good week and that you're learning as much as you can during this last week of lessons, because next week will be our last week of school and we'll still be doing our class meetings, but we'll be getting ready for the end of your third grade year. Before we move on to the digestive system pictorial input chart, I want to go ahead and just review quickly. We learned about digestion in our first lesson this week, and we learned that digestion is the process of breaking down food so it can be used as fuel for the body. And we also learned the word nutrients, which are substances that are needed for healthy growth, development, and functioning. So hopefully you completed your cognitive content dictionary and you have submitted that in your class dojo portfolio. Okay, on to our digestive system pictorial input chart. This is a picture of the inside of our body and what happens when we consume food. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy learning about this very complicated system that helps us break down the food that we eat so that we can use it as fuel for our bodies. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw the outline of the body first. There's the outline, and that provides everything else for our digestive system. So digestion starts in the mouth, actually starts even before food enters your mouth, because once you smell something that you're going to eat, your mouth begins to produce saliva, which is another word for it that we're used to is the spit in our mouth. That saliva starts breaking down the food so that it can travel down the esophagus. Okay, and the esophagus is along this long tube, and while in the esophagus, the saliva continues to help break down your food by making it real mushy, so that it can continue traveling through the digestive system. There's chemicals in our food, and the saliva helps break down those chemicals so that the food can become more soft. And once it gets there, we meet the stomach, which this looks very small, but sometimes we think our stomach, especially after we eat, and it kind of like sticks out, we think our stomach's really big, but actually it's just a really small part of our digestive system. And once it gets to our stomach, the stomach continues to break the food up into even smaller bits and smaller pieces so that it can then travel to the small intestine. And the small intestine, if you look at it, it kind of goes round and round. It's all jumbled up there inside our body. And actually, I'm just going to kind of draw all of this because they're all jumbled together. The large intestine is also part of this, which is, I'll add this over here. And it's funny because the large intestine is so big, but all jumbled up inside, it doesn't even really do much except provide this last stop before the food is going to exit our body as waste, and that's the leftovers of the food that did not break down and was not saved in our body so that we can use it for fuel. I'll just draw this so that you have it here. There's all these little spaces. Okay, here we have the pancreas. And the pancreas helps the small intestine also continue to break down food. And the liver is very important because the liver is what cleans out the food going down through our small intestine and through our pancreas and through our large intestine. It cleans it of bad things like bacteria and things that enter our body with the food, and it kind of filters them out and keeps them from going further into the digestive system so that they don't make us sick. And of course, sometimes this is a little bit hard to talk about, but that's a funny word. What happens is, once this is all food has been broken down and it's gone through all of the processes it needs to go through, it ends up in something called the rectum, and the rectum is the last stop before the food that's going to exit our body as poop. That's where it goes, and then it's pushed out when we need to go to the bathroom. So sometimes it's a little embarrassing to talk about, but it happens to all of us, so it's definitely something important to know, because we need to know those things about our body so that we can keep it healthy. And that is the last and final stop for all of the things being broken down through the digestive system. So thank you for learning with me that very important part, and for being able to understand how important all the pieces are to the parts of our body. Okay. Oh, I want to leave this up just for a little quick minute, just so you can, and I'll move out of the way, just so you can look at it. I'll show you a little bit closer up. So there's the digestive system pictorial input. And this is something that you're going to create on your own as well, and go ahead and submit that with your Class Dojo portfolio. And as we get toward the end of our lesson, I'm going to actually put this right on top and go over the function and the parts of the digestive system that we just talked about briefly. Okay, so the purpose of the digestive system is to tear our food up. So when your teeth tear into a piece of pizza, your digestive system begins its work. That delicious bite will become energy and nutrition to build your body. Your digestive system breaks down or digests your food. It takes the useful parts of your food or nutrients throughout your body. Any leftovers leave your body as waste, and that's what we were talking about when we were looking at the pictorial input. Waste is anything that our body cannot keep in it, it has to get rid of. Okay? The parts or the pieces of our digestive system starts with our mouth. Our teeth and saliva break down food into little pieces. When you swallow, your food travels to the stomach, where for about 4 hours, special juices called bile digest it even more. Food then goes into the intestines, which are like long, squishy tubes. They are at least 25 feet long, or about as long as 6 third graders laying down head to toe. Can you imagine that? If 6 of you were laying head to toe, all those pieces that we saw squished up in here, this is equal to 6 third graders laying down on the ground head to toe. That shows you how complicated our bodies are. The intestines dry up the food, sucking out the moisture and nutrients. And ways to keep healthy. Some food is good for you: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, milk, cheese, nuts, and lean meats. Avoid junk food. Junk food is not good for our bodies. When you eat well, you give your digestive system what it needs to be healthy. So let's just quickly talk about junk food. Now, junk food is fun. I won't deny that, okay? I love eating ice cream once in a while. I love having pieces of chocolate from one of my favorite places called C's Candy or Buffett's here in Albuquerque. I like those kinds of things, and I know that you do too. So candy, chips, hot Cheetos, Takis, any of those things, we like those from time to time, and that's completely fine, because there's a good word that we need to learn, and learning it early is good also. It's moderation. So if we have those things in moderation, if that's not the main part of our diet, then it's okay to have those things every now and then. But when we're eating those things all the time, that they don't only impact our digestive system, they impact our entire body, okay? So when I'm talking about junk food, I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat it at all. You just need to have it in moderation and as part of your already healthy diet. So as long as you're sticking mainly to your fruits and vegetables and your whole grains come in many different forms. Milk can also come in many different forms as well. Same with cheese, nuts, and lean meat. So I don't want to discourage you from enjoying your food, but I definitely want you to pay close attention so that you can live a healthy lifestyle, and the healthy food that you do eat can help you in all areas of your body. Those healthy foods support your nervous system, which is your brain. They support your skeletal system, which are your bones. They help grow your muscles, and that's something that we've talked about. They are good for your heart. So all the systems that we've talked about so far have benefited from the food that we eat. And depending on what kind of food you choose to eat, that can impact how your body functions, whether it's good, if it's functioning in a good way, or if it's functioning in a bad way. And it's never too early to start taking care of your body by eating healthy foods. So don't misunderstand Miss Gurule, because I always like to tell my students that my favorite food, of course, one of them is ice cream. I just have to remind myself that ice cream for all 3 meals a day is probably not the best choice. And as long as I'm having other foods, I can enjoy ice cream from time to time as just part of my healthy diet. Okay, boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed learning about the digestive system with me. And I'm not sure what I'm planning yet for next week as far as finishing up the Healthy Me unit on the human body. But if there is time, I would like to talk with you more about how we can keep our body healthy. So it all depends on how our last week of school goes, but if I don't see you again on video, I do want to tell you that I have missed you. I'm very proud of how you've done with distance learning, and I hope that you have a wonderful summer, and I hope to see you back at school in the fall. If you need anything from me, remember you can always find me. You can always send me a message. You can always find me on Class Dojo or an email, and just let me know how I can help you with anything that you may need. So again, I'll see you hopefully soon, and I hope that we get to eventually give lots of hugs and high fives and handshakes when we see each other. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.